George Russell just exposed something Mercedes didn't want to say out loud. The W17's data from Barcelona? It's not just good. It's terrifying. Because what they found hidden deep in the telemetry shocked even the factory. The new power unit? Faster than simulations. The electric deployment? 3 times stronger, with 0 reliability issues. And the most insane part? Russell says the W17 is already faster than they expected. Before any upgrades. Before Bahrain. Before anyone's seen their real pace. This isn't pre-season hype. This is a quiet warning shot from a team that just ran 500 laps without breaking a sweat. And today, we're showing you exactly what George Russell just revealed. About the most under-the-radar threat on the entire grid. Barcelona. 3 days of pre-season testing. Every team watching each other. Every lap under the microscope. And in the middle of it all, Mercedes. No wild upgrades. No flashy aero tricks. No dramatic quotes. Just lap after lap after lap. 500 completed. No red flags. No mechanical issues. No public drama. It looked boring. Too boring. But then, George Russell said something strange. Right after his final run. With the car parked and the numbers coming in. He walked into the media pen. And quietly dropped a bomb. Honestly? It's better than we thought. Better than the sim. Which doesn't usually happen. Better than the sim? If you know Formula 1, you know how big that is. Because these days, nothing in F1 happens by chance. Simulations run thousands of laps before the car even hits the track. If the real thing is outperforming the model, that means one thing. Mercedes built something they weren't expecting to get this soon. Something efficient. Something clean. Something fast. And for a team that spent the last 2 seasons chasing its own shadow? That sentence from Russell? It meant the chase might be over. After Russell stepped out of the car, Mercedes engineers went to work. Lap times, tire data, power delivery curves, energy deployment logs, brake stability. Everything got pulled apart, second by second. And somewhere inside those numbers, they found it. The W17 wasn't just consistent. It was over-delivering. Sector 3, the technical, twisty final part of the Barcelona circuit. Russell was hitting delta times they hadn't seen in simulation. Over a dozen laps. On used tires. With partial deployment. That should have been impossible. Even James Allison, Mercedes tech director, admitted it. The correlation this early is better than any year since 2020. Translation? The real car is doing exactly what it's supposed to, or more. Without needing last-minute fixes. But it gets crazier. The MG UK, the system now delivering 3 times more electric power than last year, was perfectly calibrated. No overheating. No clipping on straights. No inconsistencies between drivers. Russell's words? It's smoother than I thought it would be. Let that sink in. This is a completely new car, built under brand new regulations. New hybrid systems. Manual active aero. More battery stress. Less total fuel. Everything could have gone wrong. But it didn't. The car ran cool. It stayed balanced. And the energy systems? Behaved like they were race-hardened. That's not just engineering. That's a team showing up to testing. Already race-ready. And the question is, how? How did Mercedes get this much right? Before the first race? We're not supposed to have answers yet. But based on what Russell just revealed, we're about to get them. The most shocking part about the W17? It's not that it's fast. It's that it's already working exactly the way it was meant to. But here's the truth nobody's saying. Mercedes planned this. From the moment the 2026 regulations were finalized. Lighter chassis, heavier batteries. Double the electric power. Manual active aero. Mercedes started designing not just a car, but a system. Because they weren't trying to outdevelop Red Bull or Ferrari on pure performance. They were trying to out-execute. And the W17 is proof that plan is working. Let's break it down. First, the chassis philosophy. Instead of going extreme, like some rivals, Mercedes chose stability. The W17 isn't chasing trick geometry or radical floor shapes. It's designed to be predictable. That's why Russell called it natural to push. Because the car's balance isn't fighting him. It's flowing with him. Second, the energy deployment strategy. Most teams are struggling to manage the new MG UK. It's powerful, yes. But if it's not timed perfectly, you either clip on the straights or lose rear grip on exit. Mercedes? They've already nailed the balance. They're deploying power exactly where Russell needs it. Out of medium-speed corners, where traction makes or breaks lap time. Third, the data feedback loop. This is the hidden weapon. While other teams brought one car and one driver, Mercedes brought 4 teams worth of data. McLaren, Williams, Alpine, all running Mercedes engines, all feeding telemetry back into Brackley. So when Russell says the W17 is better than expected, that's because they're not guessing. They already know how it behaves in 4 different chassis. It's not just a car anymore. It's an ecosystem. And that's why Mercedes walked away from Barcelona. Without any big statements. Without any soft tire show laps. Without any drama. They don't need to convince anyone. Because the W17 is already doing the talking. George Russell didn't come out of Barcelona hyped. He wasn't bragging. Wasn't smiling. Wasn't dropping bold predictions. But if you paid attention, he didn't need to. His body language was saying it all. He walked into every interview calm, measured, focused, like a driver who knows something. The rest of the grid doesn't. And that's not normal for Russell. In past seasons, he's been vocal, explaining problems, pointing out weaknesses, asking for more. But now, there's none of that. When asked how the car felt, he said, "It's doing what we want it to do." That may sound simple. But in Formula One, that's gold. Because in the last 2 years, the W13 and W14 were doing the opposite. They were unpredictable, unstable, impossible to trust under pressure. But the W17? It's listening. And Russell's driving reflects that. During long runs, his inputs were clean. No sudden corrections. No steering snaps. Just pure, confident flow. And when a car lets a driver drive like that, something unlocks. Not just pace, but belief. That belief is dangerous. Because Russell isn't just a number 2 anymore. This is his team now. He's the one logging the mileage. He's the one giving the feedback. He's the one shaping this car around himself. And if Mercedes really has delivered a machine this complete, this early, Russell won't just be in the fight. He might lead it. And that changes the entire equation. Because for the first time since 2020, Mercedes might have the fastest car. But for the first time ever, George Russell might be the one in control of it. Every preseason, we ask the same thing. Who's hiding pace? Who's sandbagging? Who's bluffing? But what if this time Mercedes isn't bluffing? What if the reason they didn't chase headlines is because they didn't need to? Think about it. They logged 500 laps. They finished early. They ran long stints, quali sims, race starts, without a single failure. And all week, they said nothing. No bold claims. No fake hype. No drama. Just Russell, delivering lap after lap. And quietly revealing that the W17 is already outperforming expectations. The truth? Mercedes might already know where they stand. They've seen the long-run data. They've compared fuel loads. They've watched every sector from Red Bull, Ferrari, McLaren. And they're not panicking. Why? Because Bahrain isn't the goal. The goal is domination. And the way they're operating. The silence, the confidence, the consistency. Feels eerily familiar. It feels like 2014. Like 2019. Like every season when Mercedes showed up and quietly crushed the field before anyone even realized what hit them. And this time, they've got Russell at the wheel. They've got data from 4 teams. They've got a hybrid system that's already delivering full power without failure. And they've got a car that's finally doing what it's told. So here's the question no one wants to ask. What if the W17 is already the fastest car on the grid? And Mercedes just hasn't taken the leash off yet? Because if that's true, the fight for 2026 is already over. And the rest of the grid is already playing catch-up. George Russell didn't shout it. He didn't need to. Because what he revealed in Barcelona said more than any press release ever could. Mercedes didn't show up to prove a point. They showed up to take it all back. The W17 isn't a gamble. It isn't an experiment. It's the result of 2 years of pain, 2 years of pressure, 2 years of failure turned into one moment of clarity. And that moment might have already arrived. 500 laps. Perfect execution. No breakdowns. No panic. No excuses. Just a car doing what it was built to do. And a driver quietly confirming that it's better than anyone expected. That's not luck. That's not hype. That's control. And if Mercedes has control now, this season might not be a battle. It might be a reminder that when they're ready, when the data is real, when the system clicks, they don't just compete. They dominate. So if you're waiting for fireworks, if you're waiting for Mercedes to show their pace in Bahrain, you've missed the point. They already have. And Russell just told us everything. You just had to be listening. If you want to be there when they finally take the gloves off, hit subscribe. Because the next time Mercedes speaks, it won't be through data. It won't be through Russell. It'll be through the stopwatch. And when that time comes, it's not going to be quiet. It's going to be violent.